I feel like talking for a few minutes. I don't do these kind of videos, and they might seem kind of um, confrontational or upsetting or whatever terms you want to use. I don't know the right way to hold the phone for these. Um, Still working on that view. But I'm not trying to be contradictory, whatever term you want to use. Convicting, anything like that. I'm just having a discussion. Now, keep in mind that I'm just kind of confused and just at a loss, really. Because on 2 Timothy, it talks about how wrong would be right, right will be wrong, and everything that seems good will be confused and conjugated and just backwards. And I think we're there. I don't know what to do with my hand. I feel like Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights. But I'm confused. We fought for 200 years to free ourselves from slavery. We fought for 200 years to have the blacks be just as included with people as whites. We've done a marvelous job. We've done great. Blacks are allowed in restaurants. Blacks are allowed to be in the same bathroom as a white person. Nobody cares nowadays. But yet, on latest reports I've been hearing, blacks now want their own bathrooms. There are blacks that want their own buses and restaurants, and blacks want their own TV station, which reality is we have already got that. There is black awards where whites cannot be included. I want to say black sports because basketball is, let's be real, 90% black. And that's okay. I have no problem with blacks wanting to do what blacks want to do, whites wanting to do what whites want to do. Basically, what you do is what you do, what I do is what I do, and I really don't care. But I'm really confused how we are progressing to the point we want to go back to having black bathrooms, Asian bathrooms, white bathrooms, Native American bathrooms. And yeah, I'm going extreme, but you get my point. I'm confused. I need help understanding this. If we fought so hard to include everybody, why are we separating it again? Except instead of the whites wanting to keep blacks out, now it's blacks wanting to keep whites out. I don't get it. We have people being offended, and this is really point number 2, and this is really the one that conflicts me second most. But we have whites being offended for the blacks, for the Native Americans. I mean, we are offended by the name of the Cleveland Indians, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Washington Redskins. We are offended by that, but it's the white people offended. The Indians are actually going to court to sue because their names have been taken out of these sports teams. Cleveland Indians are now the Cleveland Guardians. The Washington Redskins are now the Washington Commanders. The Atlanta Braves are still there. They're Indian. Why didn't they have to change? Kansas City Chiefs are Indian. Why didn't they have to change? Not that I'm caring over what some team is being called, but if you're going to go after all of it, then why are you picking certain things and not others? Number 1. And number 2, why is it that whites have a problem? There are YouTube channels, and I don't always believe YouTube channels or Twitch channels, but there are people going around to these communities wearing their outfits. There was a guy that went around in a Mexican outfit, and the Mexican people, I don't know how to term it better, but basically with the Mexican, the Spanish heritage, maybe that's the better way of putting it, Spanish heritage, had no problem with this guy doing it. The whites did. The whites had a problem with the Spanish Spanish people being okay with the guy dressing as a Spanish historical outfit or whatever you want to call it. And the Spanish people were happy with it, but whites were upset. He went around in a black neighborhood, and the black people were like, that's cool. But the white people were upset with the white person dressing up as a black person. Please, help me understand to make this make sense. And now, people want to argue over pyramid schemes, which is currently happening with me with a couple of situations. They're in a pyramid scheme, and they're telling me the pyramids are illegal, but yet the epitome of a pyramid scheme is to, one, pay somebody in a central focus, two, to one person recruits 5. Those 5 people recruit 5, and the first person gets paid money from the other people. Each one of those 5 people recruit 5 more. So now you go from 1 to 5 to 25 to 125 to 250, or actually like 500 something to 1,000 something. So you have one person at the top, and it slowly grows whiter and whiter toward the bottom. Very quickly, actually. And then on top of that, you have to pay, number 3 is you pay a central amount to a central figure. You're supposed to support each other. And it's supposedly illegal. And it's very nurturing. But if you have, and I learned this a long time ago from my dad, and I learned this relearned this a long time recently, and I've used it since my dad, but being reaffirmed helps. But if you got to pay into something, is it really real? I mean, why am I paying $200 to get into this travel agency that is supposed to be about travel, but yet the majority of it is where you make the money is to recruit people. And I'm paying money, $200 in it, plus $40 a month. But yet they say it's not for the training and it's not for this. They're probably right. It goes to the central person that originally came up with the concept. Pyramid scheme is thought up by one person, and majority of the money goes to that person. So everybody else is legitimately successful, possibly. But why pay somebody else to do something when I can get my own LLC, get my own equipment and my own advertising and my own business cards to pass along stuff, so I pay for myself versus paying somebody else to give me information that I can get on my own off the internet. I can get better deals on the internet on my own. Yeah, there's things I could learn, but instead of doing a pyramid, I'm building myself to be successful. Now, I can bring in people to help them out, and instead of having them pay a fee to help out other people, which is helping out the main guy in charge, I'm hiring people to help them out. That's what I do with my business. And I'm trying to help people out. Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's life. Some people like what you do, some people hate it. I have a cousin that would not want to do the job that I do, but she loves she loves to prep the stuff that I do. And that's awesome. And I pay her because I know they need help, and she finds it refreshing to do that stuff. And that's awesome. So that gives me somebody I can hire that needs my help, that needs my money, can do it when she wants to. I tell her what I want. And if she can't do it, I get somebody else that needs money just as bad. But she has first dibs. But again, help me make this makes sense. I can be my own travel agent. I can get my own LLC. I can get my own clientele. if I have that much of an interest in it, which I think would be a good side hustle. But in reality, do I really want to do it? Not really. I would love to have a good at-home job. But the digital marketing is the same thing. You're basically buying courses to resell courses on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. It's advertising to get other people to buy into this. It makes no sense. It's a course that you can pretty much do on your own. I'll make my own course, sell it on my own for $100 and say, okay, anybody that jumps on, pay me $100. I give you this course, then I'll teach you how to extend it to other people. It's the same concept. That's all it is. Now, the final straw in the kitten, and really this is my main point, and this is going to cause controversy, and I'm not trying to cause controversy, but I refuse to watch pretty much anything Disney anymore. Getting more and more to the point, I don't want to watch CW or TV in general. I don't want to pay a cable company to get product I really don't care about. Now, with my daughter, there's times where I know I probably upset her because she wants to watch something, and half the stuff I refuse to watch because I know there's some kind of woke agenda and all this other stuff. And I have no problem with people. You believe what you want. You live the way you want. You act the way you want. My job as a Christian, and yes, I feel myself as a Christian, is to try to help out people. Try to make it make sense. Disney, I've always been a Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. But even in the latest projects, and I'm not going to the Acolyte yet, but even in the latest projects, you have the Andor Season 1, looking at Season 2, and the main characters were doing what the main characters do, and they had two ladies that were side characters that were, one was off doing stuff on these planets, another one was on a planet kind of being a behind-the-scenes espionage agent type thing. I don't know what terms to actually use, but that's the simplicity of it. But when they got together, they were a lesbian couple. Okay, whatever. It didn't detract from the show. It was a side point where the LGBTQ wanted something in there, and that's fine. But it was one, maybe two scenes in about 10 episodes or 8 episodes or whatever it was. So did I like that part? No. The majority of Americans are not into that stuff in film. I don't want my kids seeing it. And yes, my kid's to the point she can make her own decisions. She's old enough. But I don't want her to watch that. But it's a side thing. I can get around that because the story is good. A lot of people generally like the Andor that are into Star Wars. It's a good background show. It's whatever. I really don't like the fact that Disney, I think some of the problem that people have with Disney is they took all the background stuff from Star Wars, said we're not going to use it, we're throwing it away. It is a Legends, not a canon thing. And okay, fine, whatever. Disney bought it, they can do whatever they want. Okay, no problem. But make it make sense where they are trying to push this LGBTQ agenda, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% of the population. That's it. Now, is there people that go into that community? Sure. Why do we call somebody who disagrees with you, because you have to have somebody to actually back you up and say that, what I'm doing is right? That's a you thing. That's not a me thing to prove. That's not your neighbor's thing to prove. That is a personal relationship. And personal relationships, as far as I'm concerned, should be personal, not public. Now, is there public shows of affection? Yeah, you have that. That's not the point I'm getting at. You like somebody and you want to do stuff with them and you're in public and it's kind of a fetish. Okay, whatever. But my point is they push it so hard that now all of a sudden it's put in the same area as racism and everything else. And it's not. It is a choice. And people are going to disagree with this. And that is fine. I don't have a problem with disagreements. I don't have a problem with somebody wanting to have a civilized conversation. I do have a problem with somebody who I can politely disagree with. And all of a sudden, instead of being polite and disagreeing, I'm going to hate you and I'm going to just totally put you down. First of all, let's get one thing straight. If somebody needs my help, I'm more than happy to help. I don't care about race, gender, sex, any of that crap. You need my help, I'm going to be there. That's the way America is. It's freedom of speech, freedom of everything. But one of my freedoms is the fact I have an ability with my job, because of that, if I can help you, I generally will. And in my past, with the people I know, the friends I'm with, I have always been that way. Now, I'm very vocal about my opinions, and this is not a video to say that I agree or disagree. That's not where I'm going with any of this. I'm not trying to cause controversy, but I don't understand how we can to agree on certain things, and as soon as we disagree on one thing, all of a sudden everybody hates everybody. It makes no sense. I believe in the Bible. The Bible says one thing. It's very straightforward and to the point. Why am I all of a sudden a hater and bigot? Because the Bible says to believe a certain way. And I'm sorry, I will always side on the Bible, because God says in the Bible, you deny me in front of man, I will deny you in front of my Father. I'm sorry, I would rather be ridiculed, punished, killed, beaten to a pulp. I don't care. If I can be in heaven with my Father, I'll take all of it gladly. Is it going to hurt? Is it going to suck? Yeah. But the point is not about that. But ever since Trump took office, it's been, I'm going to be your friend unless you're a Trump supporter. Who cares? I'm going to be your friend unless you're a Biden supporter. Who cares? As far as I'm concerned, I need help making it make sense, because I'm sorry. We came from a country where we can vote who we want. We can choose who we want. None of it makes sense. And I'm hitting on several topics. But you're punished by the government to be married. You're punished by the government to live a fruitful and good life. And when I say that, I mean, I want to have my own small business. I want to be married. I want to choose a wife if I'm a guy, and a girl wants to choose a husband. You get punished for that. But if you're a gay couple, if you're black, you are rewarded. And I know that sounds crazy to say, because I'm not racist. I have no problems with the blacks. I have friends that are black. And you know, they are some of the most friendly people that really think all of this is just a scam of one way or another. You know, the whole racism thing is a way to cause separation. We have freedom. You listen to Morgan Freeman. To back up my point, you listen to Morgan Freeman. He don't like Black History Month. He don't like all this black talk, because we're all Americans. We're not, people have this Black Lives Matter. He said Black Lives Matter is nothing but a scam. Morgan Freeman is a black man saying this. So where I'm getting my points is not from a white person's perspective. I'm getting it from like Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington. I can name off a whole bunch of black people that are saying this. Some of my friends are black and they've said it. They work. You want something, you work for it. You don't sit there and try to get other people to pay you because you can tell them how to do stuff better, and all it is just basically a video saying get online and be active. Okay, again, I'm back to my question. Can somebody please make this all make sense? I appreciate you guys. I have that running through my head. I thought I would share it with you. As far as I'm concerned, I love you all. The hardest part for a Christian is to find a balance between hating a sin and loving a person. It's hard because everybody sins. Everything is a sin. But on the other side, if you go against what the Bible says, and you're doing it willingly and trying to openly object to it, are you really a Christian? Now, I did see an article where a person said that they were gay and they found Christ, and as they got, the people didn't change them, people just accepted them, and that's awesome. They went to a church and the church accepted them. That's awesome. They changed their choice because of God. They changed their preference of who they like and who they want to be around because God changed them and let the process change them. And kudos to them. That is amazing. It's an amazing story. It's awesome. And I've seen it online. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it in interviews. The person's legit. It was an awesome experience. But all this stuff about hating people because they believe differently and bad-mouthing them and bullying them, all this talk about racism, even though racism is always going to be there somehow. In some ways, the whites are getting it more than the blacks. The Christians are going to start getting it more and more. That's not racism. That's something different, but whatever. But it's all predicted in the Bible, and it's all happening in front of us, and not all of us know it. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, this world is getting more and more messed up, and I'm just confused, and I'm not really confused. I don't know. I just have a problem with all of it. And I don't know. To me, I just want to live my life, do my thing, and just go. And that's just the way I look at it. I don't need somebody outside a source to tell me that I'm doing right or wrong. I don't need somebody to sit there and be like, you're the best person or you're the worst person. I really don't care. I go out, I do my job, I'm done. And I'm saying all that basically to say it makes no sense. And again, I'm not going into Disney because there's enough videos on the Acolyte that I'm not even going to touch that. There's no reason to. But why would you? The only thing I will say, and it's just a question again, where does it make sense? Why would you take a clientele, bash them in interviews, and lose your fans because you're bad mouthing the very people that pay your paycheck? None of it makes sense. All right, you guys be easy. Peace. Please like, share, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Might give me a thumbs down. Your opinion, you're right. Feel free. And if you see me in the streets, say hey. You guys be blessed. Have a good day.